We live? Ah, the broadcast is live.
All righty. Let's see who we got in here. See what's going on. We've got uh, Just Eedee with us. Let's see who we got.
Oops, I should. There we go. Got to turn off the audio.
Let's see if I can find this on the laptop. Scarlett is having a. I think I've got the audio off on mine too.
All right. Hey, Midwest Mania Outdoors, Justin James.
Come on in, Justin.
All right. And then I dropped my pick.
Oh, we're starting off right? Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Raymond Williams in the house. Lisa Lee's in the house. Sent One's in the
Hey,
house.
Lisa.
Come on in, children. Come on in. We've got Artisan Showcase, Spotlight, Just Eedee. Stillion's in the house. Hey, could you?
Oh my God! I actually lost the pick.
Hey, the one pick that you people have. Hey.
You and your pick. Oh my God!
I'm gonna sell those when I get famous. Yeah.
Oh, they'll go for money.
Yeah.
They'll go for money.
Anywho.
Got it.
Oh, this is great. We're going to do Artisan Spotlight. We've got Eedee with us. Eedee is totally awesome. If y'all don't have Eedee, what to do is to check her out. She was very difficult to find back in the day. Because it's just Eedee.
Yep, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like me. I tried to find myself a name several times. It's like, no. And then I look at my name and I'm thinking like, well, Mountain Bushcraft, what are you? I have no idea. Okay.
You figured it out.
Anywho, we're going to take questions from the chat as well as questions that I have prepared.
Oh, nice.
And Eedee's going to, if she will, kick us off with a good one.
All right, I'll kick you off with an original of mine. At the time, I was living in Hollywood and really happy to be out there. And my favorite actor is Vince Vaughn. And I thought maybe I could write a song for him. So the very, very first song I ever wrote was about my dear Vince Vaughn. And it's called Rockabilly Mama. I'm going to take my headphones off and let's see how this goes. All right, here we go. Hey, I'm a rockin' rockabilly mama. You can be my swinging hipster dad. When you get tired of Hollywood, hey baby, then you can roadie for my band. Think of how happy we would be. You and me and them sideburns make three. I'm rockin' rockabilly mama. You'll be lucky my gear for free. Vince Vaughn, my boyfriend's wrong. He tries to tell me you're gay, and all I can say is whatever. Please don't shave them sideburns, man, okay? 'Cause daddy, that look is money every day. Hey, I'm a rockin' rockabilly mama. You can be my swinging hipster dad. When you get tired of Hollywood, hey baby, then you can roadie for my band. Think of how happy we would be. You and me and them sideburns make three. I'm a rockin' rockabilly mama. You'll be liking my gear for free. Now I live in Hollywood. Alright, it's really Van Nuys, but the same neighborhood. It's fun, it won't be long. I'm only 1 degree away. 'Cause my sister saw you, this is a true story, at a cool cat roller skating party. Hey, I'm a rockin' rockabilly mama. Oh, you can be my swinging Amsterdam. When you get tired of Hollywood, hey baby, then you can roadie for my band. Think of how happy we would be, so dang happy, you and me and them sideburns make 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm a rockin' rockabilly mama. You'll be liking my gear for free. Yeah, just because you love me. What a great roadie. He really digs me. Yeah, look at them sideburns. Oh, yeah, Daddy. Ooh-wee.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Thanks, FBA.
Yeah, I remember you doing that when you flew in from California to the hollers of Kentucky, and we had went to Doc's house, and I just had foot surgery, and I was still in the boot.
You weren't even hobbling around.
I was like, I don't know. It's going to be so. I don't know what we're going to do. Here I am with the bum leg. But that I remember you doing that song there. Yeah,
that was a fun one. That was a fun time. That was
great. Frank Kelly's in the house. Lisa B. Slide 85.
Jimmy C.
We got Jimmy C. And Jimmy C. We were just talking about you just a moment ago. Without you, my wonderful Rastafarian heathen friend, I would have not ever had met Just Eedee. And I think I was telling her that one of the first videos of hers that I had watched was the Budweiser cover Prodigy, which was I was like, did she wrote that song?
Oh man, I wish I'd be in the money right now.
but that was so cool.
That was actually I did that kind of as a nod to my dad, because he loved the Budweiser, the Clydesdales, the commercial. That was we bonded over that jingle.
That is so cool. Yeah, she does, Jimmy. She does do the Bud, because when I sing the commercial, I was like, did she wrote that, right? She had to write that. So I kept watching videos, and it was like on location thing. And she would do like these cover songs on location. You had to finish the segment to where she was. Where was she at? Where was she on the 405? Where was she at? Janet's in the house. Come on in, see us, cuz.
Hey, Janet. Janet's here too.
Well, let's get
John T. I love you, man. Good to see you.
Oh, there's my hero. John T. Cash is in the building. Sir Spade, I'm glad you are here. Chasing Tails Outdoors is in the house. We're gonna I'm going to ask Eedee some questions.
All
And
right.
one of the things that I want to know, how old were you? At what age do you remember ever, ever deciding the very first song, the very first pickup of a guitar, banjo, mandolin, whatever it was? I remember what age I was.
Yeah. How old were you?
I was actually 6.
Wow. You
Yeah,
started young.
yeah, and didn't advance. So I'm still playing like I'm 6. But at what age did you see an instrument, or did your family play, or
Yeah, my
what?
dad was self-taught. He was like he was really into country and folk music, in the 60s and the 70s. But he liked the corny stuff. He loved the Kingston Trio and Peter, Paul, and Mary. And as when I was in high school, I was such a punk ass, like, but I appreciate it now. It's so funny how you come
Yeah,
around, how you grow up. But so watching my dad was a very entertaining person. He was definitely always the life of the party, and definitely true to his Irish roots. Having a good time with a few. And it was funny, as a little kid, when I was 6, I was very shy, actually. So I used to watch my dad, and I was just in awe of my dad. I was a daddy's girl if there ever was one. So it's like, oh wow, I would just admire my dad singing. And being from Florida originally, one of the things that we like to do was vacation on the west coast of Florida and the Gulf of Mexico. We used to go to Fort Myers Beach, and my dad would always bring his guitar, and we dig a pit in the beach, do a whole barbecue.
yeah.
So it was like a whole day thing. We'd have, go in the water and have a good time being on the beach. And then after, the barbecue, Dad would take out his guitar. And it was just really cool because total strangers just walking along the beach would come up and just kind of gather around the fire. And as a kid, I was really proud of my dad, but at first I was very jealous. Like, hey, who do you guys think coming over here? This is our party, as 6.
I can
But
see that. Yeah.
my dad being the center, he just loved to bring people in. And he would be playing his guitar, singing, and he'd just go, come on over. And like, oh, they're invited. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. The entertainer part of him.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, because if and I've learned from time past, even when alcohol was involved on my end, I learned the more that were there,
The more fun.
the more fun it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because you've got people that can't sing drunk. You've got people that can sing drunk. Then you've got guys like me can't sing either way.
Not true. Not true.
But then you take Sterling. I'm glad you're in the house. I'm not ignoring anyone. My chat is delayed. Frank, Sterling's in the house.
Whiskey woman.
Whiskey woman, is the bar open? Whiskey woman for you all. That's just a question. But your dad being an entertainer, that falls right back to the same aspect as him wanting to draw, him wanting those people there.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, at 6 or 7 year old, you're like, well, what are these people doing here? But your dad knew what he was doing.
He did.
It's so cool.
But just seeing that nod, like, come on over, like, oh, okay, that changed it for me. Whatever Dad said, I was a believer. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
So my dad was definitely my first musical influence for sure, and very much into record collecting. So I used to listen to all his records, and yeah, he was very conservative. He thought that the Beatles were really weird.
He's kind of like my dad. My dad was like, no, son, no. Lisa, thank you, honey. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Oh,
Nice.
y'all,
Very nice.
y'all. If Jan is still here, if she would, and you don't mind to, would you run Eedee's link in the chat for me? Coffee in my wooden mug.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh,
But as far as
perfect
my
time.
very first instrument was the fiddle, actually. And it was in the 5th grade. I don't know if you guys had this in your school. In our elementary school, we had the young people's concerts.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. You
What's
know
going
the
on?
no, no, no. I was laughing at you because you was like in school. We always had the recorder. We didn't have
We had the recorder too.
we didn't if you saw if you had seen the I think we got in school. I think we got a recorder and a pair of drumsticks.
Oh,
And
wow. We
yeah,
didn't
the
get
drumsticks.
drumsticks.
Yeah, drumsticks didn't last long at my house. Dad was like, God, man, who give him those? But Gaffa's in the house.
All right, Gaffa. Oh, thank you so much for putting the link in there, Gaffa. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Eedee, she totally awesome, straight up, wonderful person, songwriter, musician, artist. I got the joy of meeting her probably about 2 years ago, I guess it was, through
Yeah,
Jimmy.
yeah. Through
And
Jimmy.
yeah, through Jimmy. And but we it's been a you look back at people that you've met on YouTube and you think, well, I've known this person for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And they're the same. We're the same. What you see is what you well when you see me in here on Sundays,
It's what you get.
that's what
When
it
I
is.
showed up to the doctor's house and I met you, I'm like, I already know MBA. He's exactly
Yeah,
like he is on
yeah.
YouTube. Yeah.
I've got to. It's this is so funny because her coming from California all the way down to Kentucky was like man, this is gonna be flipping awesome. This is gonna be unreal. And it was better than what I thought it was going to be. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
You expect it to be good, but
I
it turns
did.
out better.
It did.
Turns out better.
I didn't anticipate feeling at home as I did.
Oh God, yeah.
It was just like I had always known everybody there. It was so much fun.
They love
Meeting your
you.
family, and it was wonderful.
They asked often about you. Often.
Oh, I can't wait to see them again.
Now, what was the first song that you ever wanted to learn?
Oh my gosh. The first song I ever wanted to learn. Well, it's weird when playing the fiddle, and I didn't learn it till like way later in life, and now I've already forgotten it. Was Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Because you were in awe of the maneuver of the fiddle. You were like, oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And yet I was in 6th grade orchestra. We didn't play Devil Went Down to Georgia. Although it was really funny, when I was in high school, we had a principal who was from Kentucky. And every once in a while, he was the best principal. He would just stroll around the halls. He was Mr. Will Hoyt was his name. And he would always pop in the orchestra room and goes, "So when y'all going to play some bluegrass?"
My kind of guy right there.
Yep,
That's my kind of guy.
Yep.
That is so funny. He was from Kentucky.
He was.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
Well, maybe I should play some fiddle.
Do it.
All right.
Whatever you feel like doing, let's go. Do it. Do it. You can do it.
All right. Excuse my. All right. There we go. Let's see. I'm going to do. Oh, since St. Patty's Day is around the corner, a little whiskey before breakfast.
I love it. 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 I got the spine out, but I didn't want to fill it up. You know what I'm saying? I got the stein out, but I didn't want to fill it up. No, we don't do that.
That's right. Oh, I know that stein is a thing of beauty. Woo,
Oh,
nice.
that was awesome. I love it. I love
Thank
it.
you.
My grandfather, my great granddad, he could play, and
Ooh.
he had gotten hurt in the coal mine, and he had he would lay on the bed because he wasn't mobile, and he'd get Dad and his brothers to get the fiddle down off the wall, and Dad would tell me that he would have a little cake of rosin dust between the pillow and the mattress, where he would lay there and saw that fiddle. I never did pick it up though. I mean, I feel kind of left out because I love the fiddle. I love
Fiddle
the
is
fiddle.
a fun instrument, but she's a tough one to learn. I'm still got a long way to go. The old timey ones, you ever see them when they play down here? I don't know how the heck they do that.
Yeah.
Wow. Did your granddad do that when he was younger?
Dad never did say. Dad said that he mainly just would lay in the bed. That was the memories of that Dad had of his. He was my great grandfather, his granddad,
Oh.
and he would lay in the bed and saw that fiddle. He said, "Boy, get the fiddle down off the wall." And he was kind of a contrary old man, you know. Nevertheless. Yeah, so can you do me one song called Where's Your Mammy, Little Rabbit?
Oh, Little Rabbit. Let me get that down. All right, let's do that.
I love this song.
Little rabbit, where's Mammy? 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 Little rabbit, where's Mammy?
I love that song. I love that
Oh,
song.
thanks, you guys.
Oh, I love that
Oh,
song.
my goodness.
There's something about that song. When I first heard you play that song, when I had first heard you play that song, I said that is probably the pinnacle of just porch stomping music right
Yeah,
there.
it is.
Because
That gets the kids going.
what I can hear is some spoons and probably a washboard. That's what I can hear.
It's funny you should say that because I actually did have a friend who played the washboard and the spoon. She was really good, and she always played on that one. So, yeah, you called it.
That's what I hear. Trapper Jay just came in the house. We've got Trapper Jay. We've got Raymond Williams, Frank Kelly, Carrie Ann, Whiskey Woman, Lisa Lee. Oh, my God, this is awesome. This is
Yeah,
flipping
it
awesome.
is.
If you
It's
don't
so
have
fun.
just Eedee, I'm telling you, because it's just pure entertainment. I'm telling you, you go over there to her channel. It's no negativity, no aggravation, no worry, no trouble, and that's what we're all about. That's what a musician should be about. It's all positivity. Well, this is
Yeah.
awesome, and
Music's supposed
it's
to be fun.
yeah. Well, that's like you look at a lot of artists or a lot of singers or a lot of songwriters, and I'm thinking, why can't I be like that? Because there's a lot of times when I come out here by myself just to play, I'm so serious. And I found that panels, and Jimmy been trying to get me to do that forever, to do the panels, and I found that the panels just takes me up a notch. I don't know about sad song Sunday, but it takes me up a notch. So um,
And Jimmy's good company too. So.
oh yeah, I love Jimmy. Yeah, yeah. Give him, yeah. Get you something to drink and sit down, Jimmy, before you hurt yourself. I love Jimmy. But what is the fiddle your favorite instrument? Is that your go to, or is it just whatever you feel?
It's whatever I feel. It's kind of funny. There was a long time. Well, the fiddle is the one I know the most on, that I've got the most experience. And there was a time where I was super frustrated with the fiddle because I tortured myself as to not being good enough, you know? And so what I did is I just started to play guitar because I wanted to just kind of break out of that. And what's neat about the guitar is that, you know, once you learn some chords, you can start singing songs, you know, whereas the fiddle, there's like a lot of, you know, the tunes, the fingerings, being into, there's a lot to think about. And what's neat about like the piano or the guitar is that you pretty much get instant gratification. The fiddle is, when you first start playing, it's a heartbreaker. My dad used to say, oh my God, here come the killer bees. Because that's what it sounded like, you know, and then just doing, you know, learning and you're hitting
Yeah.
straight. I mean, she's a tough one. So after I started, you know, messing around with the guitar, I came back to the fiddle, and it was really neat because all of a sudden my playing improved because I kind of broadened my horizons. And at the time, I was very lucky when I was in California. You'd be surprised. There's actually an old timey and a bluegrass scene. That was the beauty about Los Angeles, is that because it's such a big place, you can find your tribe. And I was really surprised at it was like old timey Bakersfield in some ways, you know, it
Yeah.
was really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And that's when I really got into it. And I started to go to fiddle workshops, and I saw one from a guy who is my total idol, and his name was Richard Green, and he played with Bill Monroe like back in the 60s when he was a kid. So I'm 1 degree away from Bill Monroe. It's so cool. And
Who knew? Who knew
yeah,
that?
who
See,
knew?
see,
And
I'm learning.
it was just so much fun. And I was telling, you know, Richard about, you know, playing the guitar and then coming back to the fiddle. And he said something that was really cool. He's like, it's all connected. Music's music. You know, you
Like,
go where you're feeling inspired, and then it comes around. Like,
but
oh,
has there ever been a time? I mean, I've experienced it myself, and I'm sure other people has too. I don't know if they have. I've not ever really asked anyone. Has there ever been a time you've taken a hiatus from music?
oh yeah, I
You just
did. I
just
went
you
to
just
school
yeah,
as a music major. I was a music education major,
yeah.
actually. And I started at 12 was when I started playing the violin, which is late. But my dad really wanted to be sure because it was expensive to buy me a fiddle. You know? So we're going to make sure you really want this. And I waited a whole year from fifth grade. And by the time I got to sixth grade, because they had an orchestra, in my fifth grade, we didn't have an orchestra, but that's what I was saying in the young people's concerts. I saw the violin and I just thought, ooh, that's a neat instrument. If I could play that, I'd be special. Because I'm so shy and I didn't have to
Yeah.
sing. So that's
Right.
why I picked the fiddle and being
Right.
part of an orchestra. so I could be among
Right.
other people and not being out there by myself like my dad. So it wasn't till years later till I finally got brave enough to start performing on my own. So I started off in a giant ensemble. And so I studied from 12 all the way to 22. I actually got a scholarship to study music education. I got into, the orchestra in different, film. I was very active in music. And then I had a really bad teacher in college. And he really was, I found out years later, that he was actually best friends with Heifetz, Joshua Heifetz,
Yeah.
and he was from New York, and he was just
Right.
a really bitter old man.
Yeah.
And he, at the time, I was working while going to school, and I was working at it was a Home Depot back then. It was Builder Square. I was a cashier, and I was putting in a lot of hours just so I can, have money for school. And he would ask me, how often do you practice? And I said, I practice an hour every day because I still have my schoolwork and working. And he goes, that's not enough, and he goes, you should consider maybe Builder Square should be your career. And it crushed me.
Oh.
I totally dropped out of school. I was crushed.
Oh.
And still kind of like gets to me a little bit, that poor kid,
Yeah.
And when I came back and started, studying with Richard, it was really cool because he actually told me, he goes, no, that was somebody that was really hurt and was very
Right.
bitter and didn't
Right.
know any better. So,
Right.
you learn about these things, but it definitely made me know that I really wanted it. I play it now.
I guess that's why I give a prelude to about every one of my live streams, or if I go live on TikTok, or if I go live on social media or on Facebook, or if I do a video upload on Facebook, which I very seldom ever on Facebook anymore, but most of the time I'll give them a prelude to, no, I'm no professional, because
I'm no professional.
because that leaves you space. I'm talking about your conscience. I'm not talking about, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
That leaves you space, and then I look back at entertainers or musicians like you, and I'm thinking they having a blast with it, man. Don't take it so serious.
It's not so serious. Yeah.
If you butcher a song, if you squeak and squack and what did I say when we were together at the meetup? I said I'd hit a chord and I'd missed it, and I said, "'Cause I'm in the wrong gear." Well,
I love that phrase. Oh my gosh.
I said, "'Cause I believe I'm in the wrong gear, 'cause I believe that's why I said it." But we had a blast, and the people there, and for those who are in the chat, the people there actually thought that she and I had played together, because I've got a real close friend of mine, Eedee Daniels, and he said, "How long y'all been playing together, son?" I said, "Buddy, I never played with her before in my life. We've never sat down with instruments before." He said, "You're kidding." I said, "No." But
well, so that's the beauty of YouTube, because I was, Jimmy C turned me on to Sad Song Sundays. Like, oh, okay, he knows that song. All right, I'm gonna, so I would play along with you. I was like, well, okay. By the time after watching all those Sad Song Sundays, I was ready.
So let me ask you a question now. Following back to the hiatus from music. How did you get out of it?
It was funny. I was out of it for 15 years. I stopped playing altogether. I changed my major and everything. I was a music education major. I became a communications major. Went into, doing in the movie industry, just left music totally behind. What changed it was when I moved to California, I had heard about this really fun music gathering was called the Topanga Banjo Fiddle Contest.
Yeah.
And I saw these little kids, these little fiddlers just competing. I'm like, holy cow, these kids are amazing, and just seeing that. And it was really cool, too, because before Steve Martin had his Steep Canyon Ramblers band, he would go there and jam with the musicians. And he was my first celebrity sighting in Hollywood. I saw him leaning up against an oak tree. I'm like, oh my God, that's Steve Martin. And other people were like, oh yeah, he'll bring his banjo around and just start jamming. And when people start to recognize, he just kind of bows out,
Yeah.
And so that was what got me back into it was going there. And I was too afraid to get back into the fiddle, though. What I did is I started playing the mandolin. So there was a music conservatory called the Silver Lake Music Conservatory, where I wanted to take mandolin lessons. And it turns out that conservatory is owned by Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He's such a cool guy. When we did a big Christmas concert, he is the coolest guy. And he's so good with kids. He was so encouraging. And it's just, he loved it all. So just being among people that knew how to have fun, that's what brought it back. And then I started getting into the fiddle once I started learning how to jam on the mando. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick up the fiddle.
Yeah. So 15 years later,
15.
you decided. Yeah. So you decided to pick up the mandolin,
mm-hmm.
and let the fiddle just simmer on the back burner just for a little while. I see my problem has always been back to not taking it serious enough. Just not discipline is my problem.
Oh, that's everybody's problem, man. Nobody wants to practice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I come out here and I'm like, I've got these songs wrote down that people wants me to sing, and I'm like, okay, I've got this one down. I've got this one down. We're gonna go to this one, and if I go to it, I'm like, man, I just can't right now. I can't right now. Discipline, boy. Sit still. Learn this thing. A-OK Foraging Adventures in the house. Pack and Brenda, wonderful people. Come on in.
Nice.
We've got Just Eedee as Artisan Spotlight on Sunday, which is totally awesome for me. If you don't have Just Eedee, please do yourself a favor, do your channel a favor. Go check her out. Hit the red button. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the notification bell. Okay, now that we know, so when you went to the Topanga Festival,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you had a Merle Haggard Johnny Cash moment.
I did.
That's what I look at. Because when Merle Haggard was doing time, Johnny Cash had came to the prison to perform.
Right.
And Merle said, if he can do it, I can do it. So that's the same thing. When I see people learn something new, I'm like, if he can fly, I can fly. If he can swim, I can swim.
Mm-hmm.
It just the wheel is what it is. The wheel. Samantha Lee's Originals is in the house.
Yay, Samantha!
We were just talking about you too earlier.
Yep. Can't wait for you to be on this, Samantha.
Hey, look here. Yeah, and WTF Mike is in the building. Somebody locked the door. Hurry quick. He got it in the basement. But nevertheless, so now let's move on to writing. Because that's one of the things that I want to. If you want to play, you can go ahead and play, and I'll get everything ready here. You got a song on your mind?
I got a song. Sure. We'll talk about Yeah, I'll do that.
Hammers one out. Too much yapping from my end.
Since we're in the Shine Shed, I got to do a drinking tune. So I had to. Yes. So this song was inspired because it's like, oh yeah, you got to have a drinking song, and in a drinking song, you got to make sure you have a part that everybody can sing along with. Make it real simple. And then I started to go, well, if it's a drinking song, it's going to be, Good Girl Gone Bad. So that's the story behind the Wallflower.
Yeah.
This is the sing-along part right at the start, so everybody will know this. One more time. Wildfire walks up, orders a shot. All fed up, she downs fast chug. Look out, think she likes it. The wildfire finally found the nerve. Ties up her blouse to show off her curves. Looking at the boys, making them swerve. Cause wildfires had her first drink. Oh yeah, the wildfires had the first drink. Here we go. La, 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 Wildfire's daddy don't know what she's done. It should be different if she were his son. Look out, Wildflower, daddy's talking like it. The Wildflower's now all liquored up. Tired waiting on the phone now, won't you talking? That's right, talking. That's the Wildflowers. Past that first ring. Uh-oh. The Wildflowers. Way past the first ring. Here she goes. Wildfire walks up, orders a shot. Still fed up, she downs past chug. Look out, oh yes, she likes it. The wildfire finally found the nerve. Ties up her blouse to show off her curves. Waking up the boys, making them swerve. Cause the wildfires had her first drink. Oh wait, no, the wildfires passed that first drink. And the wildfires gonna have another drink, and another drink, and another drink, and another drink.
Oh, and the wildfire. The wallflower. So
The wildfire.
I think WTF Mike said he was hung on the first intro because they was making fun of me because I was hung on baby. So Mike is hung on no. Okay.
What's funny about that song is that it worked because there's a place that I love to go to in Culver City. That was my watering hole. Was the Cinema Bar. And the bartender, Sarah, she was my favorite. She was awesome. She was from Boston, so she had that accent. Hey, Eedee!
Eedee!
She was heart of gold. She was awesome. Hey, play that drinking song. I want to sing.
Hey, Eedee!
And then you hear her behind the bar, la, la, la. Yes,
Yeah.
I made the bartender sing. That's not easy.
Yeah.
Did I make you sing, Whiskey Woman?
Yeah. Oh. So what was the first song you ever wrote? What was the first song you ever wrote?
Was the first song I played today was Rockabilly Mama. I never knew how to write a song. When I was playing the fiddle, I didn't write a song until I was 32.
Yeah. I was trying to think that brought a flashback here there for a minute. I was like,
wait, it might even be later than that. No, it was 32. Yeah, it was 32.
I don't know what the I couldn't even answer that question myself. So I mean,
it's easy for me because it wasn't too long. Well, yeah, it was pretty long ago, but
Well,
At
I
least
see
in my
now.
adult
The
life.
first
So
song I wrote was on Scroll. I believe it was on Scroll. My first song was on, yeah, my first song was on Scroll.
yeah, so Rockabilly Mama was my very first song. And I just thought it was just, that's all I wrote was, as you can tell, most of the stuff is silly songs. You know, I wrote some sad songs. What's so funny is the sad songs that I wrote, I can't remember them. I have to go look right. Crap, how did that go? I don't know.
I wrote some sad songs, but I'm too damn sad to remember them.
Josephine, we were talking about
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo. Look, coming in here wide open sideways.
I
Her,
know.
Josephine, I'm telling you that I was watching her latest work, and I was like, "Hey, God,
Josephine has
she
blown me
is
away. Oh my God, her
galaxy,
singing is
man,
amazing.
galaxy." I mean, she like I was watching. I was like, "What happened to Josephine?" I mean, because from her earlier stages when I first met her probably 2 years ago.
hmm
Maybe I met her in your live stream.
Oh yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
yeah,
because you go
yeah.
live, and I was like, you go back to that stage in her work, and you're like now, and I'm like, everybody's running off and leaving me. You know
So
what I'm
I
saying?
feel she was already great then, but now
Yeah,
she's
that's
like
what I'm saying.
diva super status now,
That's what
superstar.
I'm saying. I'm like, and I'm watching all these. You grow. If you don't grow, you end up like me. Okay, so take this as some advice, children. Grow, eat your vegetables, and grow. Because what happens is because I I want to write, but I don't want to write anymore. That's sad. I just don't want to write anymore.
Yeah, it comes in stages. You know, you take it as it can. You're doing all kinds of other creative stuff, and plus, you keep at it, man. You've got a repertoire that's amazing. But you can go 4 hours and not play the same song. I run out of stuff after an hour.
Yeah, but my excuse is, and a lot of people look at this, but my excuse is, well, just imagine Hank Williams with this some country boy can't survive every night for a freaking month. You got to come out with the same energy, the same positivity, and the same vibe. And sometimes it just don't. The fire is not there.
Yeah, that's very
It's
true.
just
It comes in
and there's
waves.
and there's days you feel it. You really do. You feel it. And I find myself it's more private. It's more private. When you're by yourself, you really pour your heart out. Now, anywho, is there any songs that you're working on?
Um,
Is there anything? Let me better question that. Is there anything laying on your desk right now that you're working on that's not finished?
Yeah, I do. And it's funny because I had started it a couple of years ago. And as I
Yeah.
was going through my computer, looking for something else, I found that song. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's actually pretty good. I was kind of surprised. Like, so yeah, I'm looking to finish that actually. What's funny is I only remember playing. I don't even remember like the chords that I had written. Like I just heard it as like a listener and not as a performer. So it's weird because my memory, it's if I don't keep at it like you do, you're good at it, man. I lose it. So I gotta work it up again.
My working it up comes out of that quart jar. Okay, I'm just saying. I mean, I've already got 15 emails from YouTube.
Hey, we all get our inspiration.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. It comes out of a thump keg. You know what I'm saying? My inspiration comes out of a thump keg. Okay, but maybe I've got. Maybe I don't. Anyway. Anywho, let's move on. Uh, uh, how do you deal with writer's block?
I just take a break, just sometimes what I do is I'll just noodle for a bit, you know, till something comes up. It's funny you should say that, because right now that I'm working on is actually not for me. A friend that I played in his band and he played in my band a while ago sent me a track that he's working on. It's a country song, and it's a really good one too. And he's like, you know, I'd really like some fiddle or mandolin. And I just started listening to him, like, oh, this is a good song. I started getting inspired. And basically, when I'm writing for somebody else, like a part, I'll do 2 bars at a time, you know, just lock in and just loop that for a while and just kind of noodle around. And then it's like, oh, and then I'll find something amongst that noodling and then just work on it. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll put it on a loop and just do take after take after take. And then, oh, that part sounded good. And then this part, so I'll actually piece it together. And then what I'll do is I'll relearn it. So it'll be a nice smooth take. So I'll actually listen. So a lot of my writing is actually in doable chunks, you know.
I see what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yeah. So is there any music that you set aside that you have no intentions to finish? Have you ever done that?
Oh God, you should see my iPhone. It's a ton of ideas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking I'm the only one.
It's a bunch of other. Sometimes I'm in the car, I'll sing that out, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is that?
Turn on here. Yeah.
And then other times like, oh, that's not so bad. Yeah.
Well, see, I've got a stack that I'm thinking I'm never going to throw them away.
No, don't do that. You'll never know when it'll come up again.
Yeah. And sometimes I go back and I look and I'm like, that's so easy to finish. And then you'll add a line, and you'll say, oh crap, here we go again. Another brick in the wall. And I throw it to the side. But that's just, you know, the writer's block it's a good thing. Actually.
It just means you need a break and need another perspective, you know.
Reboot,
so yeah. And but there was one story I wanted to share, because it's kind of related to your neck of the woods. My big claim to fame was also the hardest recording session I've ever done in my life. Was a friend of mine, she's a great singer, Ruby Friedman. A lot of music supervisors in Hollywood, you know, always like to contract out, you know, songs for television. And so this one was for Justified. And every season they would end with "You'll Never Leave Harlan Alive." And so they'll have every different artists do it. And so we were not really commissioned, but it was me, her producer, and her that were working on that song. And you just work on it in the hopes that it'll get picked up. Yeah. And that particular year, I think it was, I can't remember which season it was, but we didn't get it. Dave Alvin beat us. Like, well, yeah, it's Dave Alvin. I get it.
Yeah. So what? Big deal. And
But then 2 years later, in the season finale, like when it was ending, they used it. And I couldn't believe it. So it was awesome. It was like the first like Hollywood thing I ever did. And it was so funny because the producer, he didn't tell me, he had a vision. We did take after take after take. I'm like, oh my God, I'm running out of ideas. And it's on the spot. I can't do it in the comfort of my own home, of doing bar after bar. You know what I mean? Right. So I'm like, oh my God, this is so hard. I must suck because he won't let me go. It's like I just keep recording and recording and recording. Yeah. And it's actually on YouTube. You can find it. It's I'll have to. It's You'll Never Leave Harlan Alive, and it's just basically a series of pictures. If you look up Ruby Friedman, you'll find it.
Okay.
Yeah, and what he was doing is he was layering all my violin takes. Is what he was doing, and then he did some really really cool stuff. So it's a lot of me doing like a lot of legato stuff, but it did have that. He was such a good producer. It was real lush, but very old timey and very haunting. It was really cool. So it's just like, Yeah, I'm looking forward to when you and I get together again. That we'll do. You'll never leave
Yeah,
Harlan alive, and
yeah,
this time I'll have my
that's
fiddle.
kind
I
of
promise.
that's a touchy one for sure. Uh,
Yeah.
Actually, we go to the bank that's in the series, and that's where me and Sonny and all of us meet up to eat.
Oh, I
Which
want to go there. I want to
yeah,
go there.
it's the bank in the series, but it was the portal. It's the portal now, and we go there. We still well we go there. We normally they've got a bar upstairs and a restaurant downstairs. We usually go there. And we usually end up staying 4 or 5 hours. You know,
Nice.
we're like they're going to run us off, man. They're going to run us off. They're going to run us off. And they've got all these cool pictures on the walls of scenes from the movie and coal mine.
Neat.
Yeah, and they call it a railing pizza. It's coal fired. If you've never had what is their specialty? It's called a railing pizza. This thing is coal fired, and it has a unique taste, and I love it. Everybody will,
Interesting.
yeah. So, what is? And I know this is a tough question, and I get asked this a lot because everybody says, "Well, what do you play?" Whatever I feel like playing. But genre of music, what would be your most favorite genre of music? What would I mean? I know it's tough. I know it's tough because if you play bluegrass, if you play country, if you play jazz, if you play blues, and you play all those things, and you had to pick one, just one, what would it be?
Oh
What would
man. Well, based on all the instruments that I do and the tunes that I know the most, that I study the most, it would definitely be bluegrass. But in high school,
go
I
figure?
wasn't playing any of this music. To tell you the truth, I came across it late in life. Probably. Yeah, it was like in my 30s that I started listening to this. It was, I got inspired by "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou." That's like what did it for me.
You're like, how'd you do that? But
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
yeah. So I think as far as my grassroots, it would have to be bluegrass. It would have
Hmm.
to be It would have to be gospel bluegrass. It would have
Oh
to be
yeah.
the old school Ralph Stanley. Because a lot of people don't know this, but Ralph Stanley was raised in a very religious, strict home, and they didn't believe in playing the stringed instruments. Everything was done a cappella, and he, Ralph Stanley. We're
That's the
talking
real
about
deal.
we're talking about Ralph Stanley, Lee Sexton, Bill Monroe, Flat and Scruggs. We're talking about the good stuff.
Yeah.
That is like that is like that is like that is like the beef and vegetable beef. You know what I'm saying? That is the good stuff. Anywho,
But that's why people might get confused with my channel, because I do kind of all kinds of weird stuff. I'll do like 80s covers on my guitar and fiddle and mandolin.
Like the Bangles, yeah, like
Oh,
the
the
Bangles,
Go-Go's. Yeah, I
yeah, the
like the
Go-Go's, yeah,
Go-Go's.
yeah. I see. Yeah, what was that? Who was the drummer?
It was the drummer from the Go-Go's. She was on
Okay.
TikTok, and they said to duet it. So I downloaded the clip, and I'm like, well, I'm going to use this everywhere. If I could use Gina Shock, and like, it's closest to a real drummer I'll get in lockdown right now. So
Yeah.
40 seconds of her doing "We Got the Beat." So I was like, all right, I'm going to record this. And it was really cool because she actually tweeted that video on Twitter. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's so cool. So, other than your parents, what was your first experience playing in front of someone? Because
Oh,
I know you speak of being shy and but what what was it like? What was your first experience actually playing in front of someone? What was it?
the ones that I can remember the most as a kid were auditions, and those were hard because, to audition for an orchestra or for a chair. I remember the first time in high school when I went out to see if I could make state, And they actually set up, there's just an audio guy. And we had a reel to reel and a big old microphone that was in the room. And he had his headphones. I'm like, oh my God.
And he's looking at you going,
yeah, just play.
Yeah, like,
oh my God, and so yeah, that was scary. And I actually made state. Yay!
Well, good for you. I got thrown out of the studio my first time. Like, dude, what are you doing? I don't know. So you made state, and I almost got thrown out of the state. So
but the second one that I remember was like my first time really playing by myself. This is when I was going to the Silver Lake Music Conservatory, and I had a really good teacher, and that's when he wanted me to get out and perform, because that's how you really learn.
Right.
And so I signed up for an open mic at McCabe's Guitar Shop, and I had learned the song "The Weight" from the band, and also they would record it for you as well, and it was in front of everybody. And it was also on a lottery system that you would go in, they'd put your number in a hat, because there's so many people that turn up. You don't know if, they'll just pick it out of the hat. And I was the first one. I'm like, oh my God, what? And I'd never been there before. This is my first outing, and McCabe's is actually famous. Like, oh my God, what am I doing? And it was funny because I blew one of the verses. I just completely forgot it. And then I actually had a second song. I was too scared. I couldn't do the second song. And I just said, and it was just me and my mando, which was weird because I didn't know how to play guitar then. That's why I picked the mandolin to write a song on, because it's tuned like a violin,
right,
but it's double strings. So this, I could play chords and I knew the fingerings. So like, oh, okay. So once I learned the chords, that's how I was like, oh, now I can write a song. Now I can play other songs. Now I can sing. And it was really, really cool. But man, playing in front of everybody just by yourself with an instrument that's not really full, like a guitar. And then at the end, I just said, yeah, that's all I got. Everybody just laughed. Like, no, keep going. I'm like, no, I can't. I just walked off the stage.
Yeah. They like, play every song you know. Okay, you're saying one song. So, I'll see you guys. Bye now. Because I mean, I remember going to the studio, and I love the guy. The guy is totally awesome. I'd go to the studio about 4 in the evening, and we would stay till 1 or 2 in the morning. And I was so sick and so burnt out and so tired. And we would order our food delivered, and we had all these people here, and I was like, and I didn't even want to be there. I'll just be honest with you, I didn't even want. And I was making my own stuff, and I'm like, dude, I don't even want to be here no more. I don't even want to be here no more. And it was over and over, repetition. Oh, you missed that one. Oh, you missed that one.
Right.
And you're inside the studio, and all the, and everybody out there, yep. And he's looking at you going, and you don't even want to make a move, because you know that if you do, you're gonna pick it up, you're gonna redo it again. I'm like, dude, where's this end at?
That's what the beauty of home recording, because it is tough being in a studio, because it's like money in front of other people and just trying to get it right. You feel some pressure. Yeah, for sure.
I didn't know who half these people were. I mean, I knew they were. I know there were people there like the bluegrass side of it. I had a lot of mandolin players, banjo players, and flat pickers,
yeah,
and chicken pickers. And these people were looking at me like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, get your phones on, get in. And I'm like, crap, son, not again. Because you missed.
NBA, but you write some really good songs.
No.
Yeah,
have you got another one in your hat right there for her?
I think I do. Let's see. I'll do this is actually on my YouTube channel. It's Save Our Ship.
I love this song.
Yeah,
I
thanks.
love this. Listen to this song. I'm telling you, listen. The video is awesome too.
I know. I got my sister's fiance to play Batman. That he was such a trooper. And my mom was the villain. So if you're wondering who that is in the mask, that's my mom.
Incorporated family gathering.
It was a family affair for sure. My sister was the one shooting it, and then I was the damsel in distress, and her fiance was Batman, and my mom was a villain. We had it covered.
This is so awesome.
All right, I'm going to do it.
Al, welcome.
Save me from the sinking ship. Help me, it's gonna be deep. Batman better get her quick. If he can't help, who can save you now? Houses are sliding with the mud down the mountainside. What bad news printed in the weekly and the LA Times. Helicopters crowd the skies over out in the night. The traffic still looms on the 405. Save me from the sinking ship. Help me, it's gonna be deep. Batman better get her quick. If he can help, I'm saving now. Lonely wetlands are in danger. What to do? New construction development just plow right on through. The Galvin neighbor says Indians pay your share. Now that ain't cool. Let's all hail to the giant rapids. Don't understand. Save me from the sinking ship. Help me, it's gonna be deep. Batman better get her quick. If he can help, save you now. Save me from the sinking ship. Help me, it's gonna be deep. Batman better get her quick. If he can help, save you now. Houses sliding with the mud down the mountainside. More bad news printed in the weekly and the LA Times. Helicopters crowd the skies over out in the night. Traffic still looms on that 405. Save me from the sinking ship. Help me, it's gonna be deep. Batman better get her quick. If he can help, who can save you? Save me from the sinking ship. Help me, it's gonna be deep. Batman better get her quick. If he can help, who can save you? Save me from the sinking ship. Help me, well, it's gonna be deep. Batman better get her quick. If he can help, well, who can save you now?
Oh, I love it. Now you know when I'm lip syncing that song, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there lip syncing that whole song because I know the song. Because
I appreciate that, NBA.
you know what I'm saying? There's songs that you just, that's like Josephine, that's like Samantha. They write songs that I can lip sync to. I'm not going to say I can sing them, but I can lip sync to them because you listen to them over and over, and it just kind of there's certain songs just and well, I mean, I knew where they're going, but anyway, okay.
Thank you.
Back to some more questions. Anybody in the chat got a question for?
Oh, you guys are so cool. It's nice of you to say Samantha and Josephine. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There's so many nice people. Gosh.
Have
Sister
you
night.
have you ever been asked to do a song or play on spur of the moment? Just you, can you play bass or hey, I need you to play mandolin. Can you play mandolin? Or we sing us a song, Eedee. Have you ever?
Oh yeah, all the time. You know, when
You're
I was
you're
going,
you're like you're like
like,
and you yeah yeah you're like what am I going to sing? What am I going to sing? Because there's some people there that just don't like. That makes me kind of there's some people just don't like Merle Haggard. And I can't get that.
what?
Yeah, I mean, there's people out there like that. You know what I'm saying? Who are these? Who are these
Who
lunatics?
are these people?
Yeah, who are these people? Damn you! Damn you! Okay. But anyway, there's people that anyway, Mike, thank you for coming in, my brother. I see you coming in. Sterling is still
Hey,
here. Sterling is still here. That's one of the guys that I've got to get on this Artisan Spotlight because Sterling is a comic. I love Sterling. I
ah,
love Sterling. Anywho, on the spur of the moment,
mhm.
in the middle of a crowd, have you ever just been? Have you ever been just asked to sing us a song, Eedee? And
Oh
just
yeah, all the time at parties. You know, because we're all the parties that I was going to were all, of course, musicians. Like, God
yeah,
damn it.
yeah, yeah. You're like, oh, not me again. There's other people here besides me.
So usually before a party, I would actually have something in the pocket just in case. And then if I didn't, like, all right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dan Anderson came in the house. That is Dan Anderson, the man, the string bender.
Got to hear
I'm
some
so
Dan.
glad he's here. Goodness gracious. Oh, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Yeah, you've got to have something in your back. If you play anything at all, whether you're totally sober or totally obliterated, you have got to have a song in your back pocket. You
And
you
the
just
thing of it is, you're glad that you did because after the party, like, yeah, that was fun, because that's part of, participating. And it's getting out of that comfort zone because really in a party, it's all about the fun. So if I have a
yeah,
sense of like, I got something, and
yeah.
then generally other people will join in and that just takes the heat off. So yeah.
Yeah. Drew, come help pack this load. Will you?
Come on over
Stye's in
here.
the house. Sty came in. Sty is in the
All
house.
right. Hey there, Dan.
uh, yeah, yeah, it happens quite often, and a lot of times, maybe it's just me, but on the spur, maybe not have nothing in your back pocket as far as having something prepped and ready. Uh, draw a blank,
Oh,
or
heck yeah.
or,
I've
or,
drawn
or just
blanks.
or be right in the middle of a song and draw a blank, or be in the middle of a song and forget where the hell you are, and you sing the same verse over again. You're like, and I was on stage one time, and I'm gonna tell you something because I can't do backups. I can't do backups. You can't throw a CD in there and expect me to follow that. If I haven't got a guitar in my hand, I'm just out. I'm just out, and I can't play worth a flip. Okay, I'm just a whacker. Okay, I'm a whacker.
I'm
I'm
a
not. I'm not.
star.
I'm a whacker. And I was on stage, and it was my own song. That's the sad part.
I've done
It was
that.
my own damn song. And the sound man said, and there I was, and it was at a festival. I got up on stage, and I had totally butchered my own stuff. I mean, and nobody knew.
Nobody
Nobody
knows.
knows it but me. You know what I'm saying? Does that fall back to do you have any advice to anybody that would have to face it? Do you just roll with it and pretend it didn't happen?
Yep, you
And
just
hope,
smile. I just
and hope,
smile. Like, yeah,
yeah.
I meant to do that. I'm a big faker, man.
Well,
I
I mean,
threw my songs today, man. I just grinned right through it.
I'm pretty good at faking unless I'm drinking. You know what I'm saying? Fake it till you make it, or thinking till you get the bottle open. One of the two for me, because it really don't matter. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna butcher this, So, but the thing about it is, if you don't have something in your back pocket, like what we were talking about, if you don't have something in your back pocket, that's probably the worst feeling you can leave the party because people sing this 180, and then you're like, and then has it ever happened?
Trying to think of that. No, I actually have. When I was kind of down, I would actually avoid it. Like when I can sense that they're going to be requesting, I kind of dodge and hide somewhere else. I have to go to the bathroom now. I just kind of disappear.
What's wrong with my mic?
Oh, your mic? Yeah, it sounds tinny. I don't know if they're got disconnected. Oh, I think that might be it.
Is that better?
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Anywho, I've been in situations like that before. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, what did you do?
I've been in situations like that before myself. That on the fly, it'd be on the fly. People be like, "Sing us one," and you'll be like, "Oh," and then you leave with that feeling. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, might as well just do it. It's people, you're amongst friends anyway. That's right. What I got to remind myself.
Right.
That's why I was able to do this. Normally, I'm nervous as all heck on my own live streams, but this has actually been really fun on yours. So I got you.
You got this to look at, girl. I'm ready. But want to take just a moment to talk about Vid Summit.
Oh, okay.
Elaborate and tell us your wonderful winning experience.
There's a side.
And it's not because of me. I want you to tell it.
Oh no, it was one of my finest work exactly because it was you. Actually, you definitely inspired me. That's for sure. So I'm very competitive when it comes to contests.
Right.
And the first one that I did, Vid Summit contest, I did with another friend on YouTube. Also, his name was Micah Nichols, and he had a family channel. Nick Fam TV.
Yeah.
And with him, I said, oh, we got to do an Elvis song and we'll dress up as Elvis. And just totally goofballed it. So I rewrote the song to Heartbreak Hotel. And basically my plea was, send us to this summit or we'll die. You don't want us to die. And we won. We both got to go. So another
that is so cool.
Came around with Nick Nimmin, and they said, make a campaign for another small channel. Why you think they should go? I'm like, oh, well, I know the answer to that. It should be Mountain Bushcrafters Alliance. We both should go. And this is the time you were, hobbling about on your foot. You were going through that foot surgery.
Yeah.
So, and I thought, wait a minute. So he's out in Kentucky. He actually shoots in his shed. Got to do the Beverly Hillbillies. So when you sent me, and I don't care when you sent me, how do you feel about me doing this? I was like, dude, this is like probably the pinnacle honor, to be able to, but when you won, I was like, holy shakaka, I was like, she won. And it is so funny. You've got to watch the video. You've got to watch the video. Yeah, it's really fun. And I just was just totally lifted because I wanted to make sure I ran it by you first because I knew you were a fun person and it was going to be a parody because it's what I do. I write a lot of, funny parodies.
Right.
And so yeah, I got to use NBA. So I texted you like, oh, please say yes, please say yes.
Yeah. That was kind of like the Mickey deal. She done the session, the whole video session of E-Way smacking his belly when he was working on something. Then she had
Earl.
me. Yeah. Gotta oil the butt, And I mean, but it's things like that as creators that we share with one another. And that's like E-Way smack. I know Mike knows how to take me. See, there's a lot of people that don't know. They're just, you're thick-skinned and you got a sense of humor and you got imagination. You've got it made. You have got it made.
Yeah.
So, are you going to enter in again to the Vid Summit, or?
I don't know. I'll see if I'm inspired. It's usually when it just strikes me. It always comes last minute. When I see like it's a contest, I'm like, oh, I can win that. I'm going to totally do that.
Well, that's just a 22-mile hike. I can do that.
Yeah, it's the competitive side of me. Now, not many people know, but my family knows. Like, here she goes. She's gonna win. I'm the oldest, so I have to win.
Yeah. So how many siblings? You just got? Have you just Christy? Is it?
Oh, and I have brother David too. He's the youngest.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
Learning the stuff every day, boys.
Yeah, he was a metalhead, man. Total long hair, crew, and all that. So yeah.
So I know your sister. She's an author. She writes books.
She's a writer. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Does your brother write? Does he write as well?
Yeah, we're all musicians, actually. Christy was a musician at one time also.
Right.
Yeah, and David had his metal band at the, back in the day.
So
and, he played, yeah.
So having said that, does it fall back into the same line as your dad? Being an entertainer.
Yep.
And the I don't know if I asked you this earlier or not, but did he write?
No,
the inspiration to write?
He actually was a really good writer when it came to letters and things, and he was always a performer because when he was younger in his days, he was an actor. That was his thing. He was really into Shakespeare and was actually a Shakespearean actor at one time.
Right.
And so just that performance and then when he got into the Air Force, that's when he started to play guitar. He bought himself a guitar while he was, overseas and taught himself.
That's so cool. Yeah. Monica's in the house.
Yay, Monica!
You didn't sneak by me. I saw you by the, yeah, there's the link there to the NBA Beverly Hillbillies.
Thank you, Jimmy.
that was like so funny because people like I want to make a parody of you, and it would be, I would be like, I hope they've got a good sense of humor because
they did. NBA, when I went to Vid Summit, I felt like a rock star because the other people that saw that video, like, oh my God, that was definitely the best. Nobody could beat you on that one. Like, it felt really good.
Yeah. That is so cool. I know I wanted to watch it, and I as far as virtual, that would be as far as I could have made it because I was still
You were still immobile, yeah.
Yeah, because when you came in, I was wanting to go down to the gazebo because they had this big, nice gazebo, huge, and I didn't think we'd get Wi-Fi down there being that far away from the router.
Oh,
and I was like, yeah, and I was like, well. We just do it here, and they absolutely fell in love with you. They absolutely fell in love with you. They did.
Oh, as and they know. So much fun.
So, I not to pry, not to be nosy. Are you still doing digital media?
Yes, but not for long, to tell you the truth.
Let me turn this down, okay?
It's funny, my fault. The people I work with have
What to
no
do? What
idea
to
I
do
have
is
a YouTube. Have
what you
no idea I
should
have a
do is
YouTube.
not answer me and go. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I intend for this to be my last year of the full-time work that I do.
right,
It's tough because it actually took a lot of my time during this. I work in digital media, and most of our work is streaming. So during the pandemic, it was working from home and a lot of hours, which is why I was like MIA. I just didn't have the time nor the energy to get into it, to tell you the truth, and it was draining. It was not fun, but I am grateful for it because it definitely has set me in the right direction of where I want to be.
right.
So yeah, I've got something in the works with my sister right now. We're working um, uh, on her company that's gonna.
Yeah.
We've got something brewing. I
don't
can't
let the
let it out.
cat don't let the cat out of the bag. Don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I knew that you were in digital media in California, and I didn't know, if a lot of times with all that's going on now anyway, everything is done through virtual. I
Yep.
just had done. I had just, and I was telling you just before we came on live, I had done a virtual beard contest,
I can't wait to see
and,
this.
and I mean, it was like crazy. It's like crazy. Uh, it was new to me, because I've got friends that's in Connecticut that's been wanting me to come out and into Austin. That Scott Collins, some of the guys wanted me to come out to actually because I'd never done anything like that. That's mainly why they wanted me there, because there's a lot of drinking and a whole lot of trouble. But they wanted me to do the beard contest, and so Vanilla Gorilla had decided to do a virtual. So we shall see the 26th
All
if
right.
it's. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. There's some
I
bad
can't
beards
wait.
out. There's some big beards out there. But
Can I
Josephine,
enter?
honey.
Can I
Yeah.
enter?
Look at
Yeah, I
this.
think
Look at
it's
this.
longer than
Look at
yours,
this.
Darren.
Yeah, look at wait, we have to measure from the lip down, okay? With the lip
Oh,
down.
oh, okay.
But yeah, it's got to be from the lip down.
I got a
Anyway,
long stack.
yeah.
There we go.
But no, I have absolutely enjoyed this right here.
This was
This is
super
what
fun.
I've got a list. I've got a list of people that I want to talk to, want to dig into, want to dive into. Uh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Sty. Oh, good to see you too, Josephine. Oh man.
Yeah. My chat is so delayed. Oh, Josephine,
Oh yeah, you're
Sterling.
right, Jimmy. See, my sister is on YouTube also. She writes some funny songs as well too, because she was a before she started writing books, she was a stand-up comedian in LA. That was her thing, and being in Los Angeles. She's still
That
there
is
now, but yeah.
that is so cool. That is so cool. That is so cool. That is so yeah, because I know I sat in on her book readings.
Oh, you did. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, tell her I'm there. Tell her I'm there.
I will tell
But a
her.
lot of times when I go into somebody's live, if I'm out here in the shop and I'm practicing, uh, what I'll do if they're working, I'll watch. It's like today I was in the shop and Dan Anderson was live, and I stopped what I was doing to listen to Dan because I get my Anderson fix. That's what I call it.
Ah,
My Anderson fix.
gotcha.
And look, Drive Shaft Drew is in the house.
All
And he
right.
and he's on the board back. Let's see, where's it at? Right
Good to see you,
there.
Drive
There
Shaft.
he is.
There he
There's
is.
there
There he
he is.
is. There I
So
am, right
thanks.
there on your guitar.
Yeah, look. Oh, ain't nothing in the jug, but there's plenty on the guitar. Anyway, uh, thanks to thanks to Jimmy's advice, hopefully now, hopefully I'll have everything upgraded, updated. I've got a guy building me a game computer.
Nice.
It's not going to have a lot of memory, but it's going to have plenty of capability. Things are going to change as far as the interviews, the StreamYards. I'll be able to do more. I'll be able to do better
Cool.
vocals. I hope I can do better vocals. If I don't tell the shine, you can forget it. But anyway, got a song for us? You got another
You know
song
what?
for
Yeah, I
us?
got a song to take us out with. It's from somebody I actually admire, who's a really good songwriter back in Los Angeles. I haven't seen him in a while. His name is Pete Fahey. And let's see if I can get my gear. I got to find the right gear.
Yeah. Yeah. Get it in the right gear, cousin.
I'll get it in the right gear. It's just such a pretty song, and I think it just fits all the community here that in our friendship. It's a beautiful world. That's what this song is. Let me see if would it be too loud if I kept it this way? I've been sitting on this park bench, watching the cars go rolling, sun streaming through the trees. Hits me right between the eyes. Ain't it a beautiful world? Ain't it a beautiful world? Ain't it a beautiful girl? Ain't it a beautiful world? He took her hand and they went walking up and over the jumbo rocks, and underneath a bristlecone pine, he looked deep into her eyes. Ain't it a beautiful world? Ain't it a beautiful world? Ain't it a beautiful girl? Ain't it a beautiful world? Saw a picture from outer space of the earth just spinning away. I couldn't see any flecks of fire. I couldn't hear anybody cry. Ain't it a beautiful world? Ain't it a beautiful world? Ain't it a beautiful girl? Ain't it a beautiful world?
I love
Thank you,
it.
MVA.
I love it. I love it.
I hope
I
it
love
didn't
it.
distort.
No, it was good on my end. I can't tell on their end, but it was good on my end. But is there any advice that you want to pass along? Because I know I've had experiences you'll probably never have. You've had experiences I know I'll never have. Is there anything that you want to pass along? A little bit of advice for the palate.
A little bit of advice. Well, I guess I just say follow your heart. It always leads you. Just really trust your gut, and go out and do it. What you want to do.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, MBA.
I appreciate you guys for being here. We love you. You know we do. Drive
I
Shaft
love
Drew.
you.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, Samantha Lee. We've
You're
got
next,
Ronnie.
Samantha.
We've got Al. We've got Monica. Drive Shaft Drew. Jimmy C. You guys, this has been much needed on my behalf.
Thank you, MBA. I just had so much fun. I can't believe it. Thank you for letting me perform because I was not nervous in the least. I'm kind of surprised. It's your good company. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Lisa, Lee, honey. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. You have no idea. The round table, Lisa, I appreciate you. Sterling, I'm going to be contacting some of the other artists, whether it's those that work with their hands, those that write, those that play, those that stand up and do comics,
Oh,
whatever
that'll be
you
fun.
do is that's what I'm after, Cecilia. Monica, back out the basement you go, honey. Back out, go back out the way you came in. That's the basement. I love you guys. You know I do. You know I do. Those that dance on the bar. Yeah, well, you know, I mean, oh, Jimmy, you don't have to do that. Oh, Jimmy,
Jimmy, nice.
uh, you don't. This right here to me is just it. This is it for me. This is which now we're gonna have a panel next Sunday. So, and I'm gonna have the video up for members only. It's gonna be kind of a gonna be kind of a sneak peek into the jar. But nevertheless, I appreciate you all for showing up for the very first Artisan Spotlight featuring Just Eedee. If you don't have Just Eedee, do your channel a favor. I'm telling you. Go over there and watch some videos. I always tell people to go over and watch some videos. If you like what you see,
Yeah.
consider subscribing. If you
Yeah.
like what you
If you
see,
like if you like what I do and want to see more, yeah, by all
because
means.
it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality of people that you have. It's not about how big the numbers are, it's the people that show up when you show out. And we've got that here at MBA. I'm telling you, we do. We have a blast. Sometimes it gets a little bit too much fun. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. Nevertheless, if you don't have Just Eating, go check her out. You can thank me later. I know you're going, especially when you dig deep into the workings of Eedee and watch the videos. You'll thank me later. I'm sure. I'm sure that you will, because hey, I thank Jimmy about every time I see him. Thank you, man.
Thank you,
You really,
Jimmy.
Jimmy's wonderful. And Josephine, honey, I've got to contact you. I have got to Instagram DM you. Um, Slide 85, you are one in a million. If you don't have Slide, you need to check Slide out. Slide is an awesome musician.
I'm gonna
Nevertheless,
check out Slide.
yeah, Slide is,
Oh,
oh yeah, check out, yeah, do. Now, if you when I close this out, if you'll go down it, let me do some editing work because I'm still green at this. You will find Eedee's channel link in the description box in the lower section of this live stream. Click on it, go watch some videos, uh, and enjoy yourself because you will. I have, and it's been how long we been friends now? How long we been friends?
oh gosh.
Couple
Ooh,
years, 3 years,
yeah,
two and a
three
half
years. I
years.
think. I think it's coming up on 3 years this
It's,
summer.
I believe
Yeah,
it's coming up on three.
yeah.
And I'd go to her lives. and it's always an enjoyable time. She come to my lives. I was kind of worried about my life because I get a little rough in my life.
Oh man, you're
You gotta
fun.
have thick skin and a good sense of humor to come over here to the dark
Absolutely.
side.
To the dark side.
Come over here to the dark side. But anyway, I hope you'll join me again for another Artisan Spotlight on Mount Bushcrafters Alliance. I appreciate you, Eedee, from the
Thank you for
bottom of my
having me,
heart.
MBA. Thank you so
Just,
much.
I'm totally honored that you came and you do what you do best. You entertain.
Thank you.
You bring about a good time.
That's what I try to do.
Nevertheless,
Thanks.
this is Roland Smith, Mountain Bushcrafters Alliance. I'm out of here, children. I'm sober, but I'm out of here. Love ya, and you know I do.